It's always a pleasure to introduce great people at our chamber events. It's even a bigger pleasure when they are friends of yours. And I could go on and on about the great things and what Zach Walker's friendship means to me. But Zach has helped masterfully guide our community through ups and downs and trials and tribulations and the great times as well. And he's brought an incredible vision to our community. If you ever have the chance to interface in a community with the city manager's office, you know that it is a complex and challenging position in which to help navigate communities forward. But Zach has done a wonderful job. And many of you know that for the last 15 plus years, I've served as the president and CEO of Community Services League, helping to care for some of the most vulnerable people in our community. And I will tell you that there's rarely a person who is more interested in our work and the status and the health and well-being of Independence's most vulnerable population. Nobody is more interested than Zach. He won't tell you those things, but he calls, he checks, he asks what the city can do, how can they be responsive on the front end of things that might turn sour. He often is doing advance outreach to see what could be harmful side effects or consequences of things. And so it has truly been my pleasure and honor to work with Zach, and he is a real hero in our community. And also going to talk today about the state of our city, the opportunities that are ahead of us, and so I know you will enjoy it. This is always our most exciting and well-attended luncheon of the year, so would you please put your hands together for our city manager, Zach Walker.
Thanks for glazing me, Doug. Members of the Chamber of Commerce, Independence Mayor, and City Council members, dignitaries and elected officials, Independence City staff, Independence Chamber of Commerce members, and most importantly of all the amazing people that love and call this good town home. Good afternoon. My name is Zach Walker, and as your city manager, it is my honor to stand before you today and share with you the accomplishments, challenges, and opportunities that have shaped our journey over the past year. As we gather here today, I am reminded of the progress we have made toward preserving our past, embracing our present, and preparing for our future. Those are the three themes I want to touch on with you today. Significant strides were taken toward preserving our past through the creation of a comprehensive redevelopment plan that we call Reshaping the Square. The Square has served as our community's commercial center since 1827, and residents have consistently and overwhelmingly told us that preservation of this asset is a priority. This plan is the result of a lengthy process to reinvigorate and revitalize the historical downtown of Independence into an active center of living and commerce. Reshaping the Square provides insights on funding, marketing and communications, and priority projects. The City Council adopted this plan in December, and I look forward to working with stakeholders like the Independence Square Association to bring this plan to life, with the beginning being the kickoff of the multi-million-dollar Square Streetscape project set to break ground next month. We are embracing our present with confidence and vigor. This year, we continued to address critical issues and seize transformative opportunities. Crucial to this progress is our city staff. In 2024, we added 149 new employees, including several key members of our senior leadership team. Deputy City Manager Lisa Reynolds, Assistant City Manager Charlie DeSell, Fire Chief Jimmy Walker, Director of Independence Power and Light Joe Hagendeffer, Director of Finance Melissa Cabrera, and Public Information Officer Rebecca Gannon. As staff, we are committed to the principles of the Athenian Oath, striving to leave this city, your city, not less, but greater and more beautiful than it was given to us. Perhaps no single event has highlighted our values in action like our recent response to Winter Storm Blair. Check out this video. Here is my favorite statistic from that storm that is a testament to our work. Less than a quarter of all vehicle accidents that happened during the storm occurred on a road maintained by the city. Representing our crews here today is Zan McKinney, Operations Manager for the Municipal Services Department. Zan, please stand up and join me in thanking Zan and all of our snow removal crews for their long and tireless hours. Among our significant achievements this last year was the successful passage of a key city charter amendment, a milestone reflecting our community's commitment to transparency and modern government. I want to thank Jackie Summer, who served as the chair of the Charter Review Committee. This group combined to put in over 6 hours of tedious, and I was there, it was tedious, but thoughtful work. After a 40-year deferral, our community will never go more than 7 years without a mandatory review of our foundational governing document. Jackie, please accept our collective gratitude. In 2026, Kansas City will welcome the FIFA World Cup to our region, and the City Council has appointed a committee to help us prepare. This committee is chaired by former Mayor of Independence, Eileen Weir. This group is working to prepare for international visitors and ensure Independence maximizes the value of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for our residential and business community. Mayor Weir is here today, and please join me in thanking her, City Council Committee Liaison Jenny Vaught, and all the committee members for their Herculean effort that they've undertaken on behalf of all of us. The overwhelming support for the police sales tax marked another victory, enabling us to invest in public safety by recruiting and retaining the high-quality officers our residents deserve. Since this tax was approved in August, we have not lost a single officer to another jurisdiction, and we've already added 20 new officers to our ranks. Economic development thrived in the last year with robust new development projects citywide. Last year, we saw a $111 million increase in building permit valuations. This growth was largely fueled by a 66% increase in new commercial building permits. These projects resulted in 244 new jobs and $137 million in private capital investment. We welcomed our first business into the Eastgate Commerce Center, a testament to investor confidence in our city's potential. In all, more than 1,200 new business licenses were granted this year, and nearly 4,000 businesses applied for a business license renewal to continue operating in our city. In partnership with North Point Development, we are competing for Fortune 500 companies to locate in Independence. That's progress. On the financial front, achieving our minimum fund balance policy for the first time is a significant milestone. 10 years ago, our city had an unrestricted fund balance of just 4.7%. We ended last year with an unrestricted balance of 17.4%. This achievement reflects our dedication to fiscal responsibility and provides a strong foundation for continued progress. Our progress extends to innovative community programs. We saw continued advancements in our ARCH mental health crisis intervention program, where our personnel released or canceled 700 emergency units from incidents. The transformative potential of Independence Together continued to be demonstrated. This year, Independence Together crews collected 450,000 pounds of trash. Others are taking note of our success. The Missouri Municipal League recognized Independence Together with the 2024 Innovation Award for both the Metro City category as well as the Member Choice Award. Best of all, this program continues to help people in our community. Take Quincy Michael, for example. 2 years ago, he was down on his luck. He and his son were experiencing homelessness. He came to work for Independence Together. The Community Services League staff quickly recognized that he was a natural-born leader. He hired on full-time with CSL as a warehouse associate. On November 22nd, Quincy was able to close on a house through Habitat for Humanity, and CSL matched the money that he and his son put down on that purchase. While Quincy says that he's now the luckiest man in the world getting to move into his new home just before the holidays, I'm here to tell you luck had very little to do with it. Quincy put in work, and with the assist of many community partners, he's achieved his dream of owning a home. Quincy is here today. Quincy, please stand, and please join me. Join me in celebrating him because his success is our community's success. Thank you, Quincy. Our progress also shows up in our public infrastructure improvements. We completed several major projects this year, including the 40 Highway Complete Streets program and the overlay of over 50% of the severely deteriorated roads inside of Woodlawn Cemetery. That one's for you, Councilmember DeLucy. Work is continuing on the $30 million Complete Streets project along 24 Highway, bringing much-needed vehicular and pedestrian safety features to this critical corridor, while also priming this area for economic revitalization. Over 50 miles of roadway improvements have also taken place throughout Independence, and more to come. Our communication team brings the magic of story with content connecting residents to programs and services, sharing the hard work of the entire city, and building for the future recruitment videos and better content. In the last month alone, content produced by our team has had 1.4 million views. Separately, we've increased the net number of new followers by 6. Are encouraged to follow us on social media, as we have radically improved our digital content in the last year. Through our Technology Services Department, we continue to drive significant improvements, ultimately enhancing staff efficiency and improving service delivery. For example, a new software solution streamlined our special assessment process and resulted in an increase of $400,000 in revenue. We replaced our legacy meeting agenda management system with a modern solution that's made it easier for staff to manage public meeting agendas and significantly improved the experience for the public. The code enforcement inspection process was redesigned, resulting in more efficient methods for opening and completing inspections, providing management valuable insights through new dashboards, and enabling improved capabilities. A new utility cashiering system was also implemented, significantly improving service. Finally, several security enhancements were implemented, ensuring the integrity of systems and the safety of your personal information. Speaking of safety, people have a desire to feel safe in their community, and it has always been my belief that a safe community makes for a great community. Under the leadership of Police Chief Adam Dustman, we are making historic levels of investment in the technology needed to fight crime. This includes the full implementation of our body-worn camera program, purchase of a new mobile command post, and the installation of over 110 license plate readers. Independence Fire Chief Jimmy Walker has brought fresh leadership to the fire department. Our firefighters preserved property and saved lives by responding to nearly 28,000 emergencies, which is approximately 76 calls for service every day. The fire department also instituted new criteria-based dispatching to ensure deployed appropriately and save taxpayers money. Our Parks and Recreation Department is providing many diverse and exciting opportunities. People are engaging with us. Rec had over 5,200 individual programs last year, and over 600,000 people participated in them. Our Palmer Senior Center saw an increase in attendance of 10%, and the National Frontier Trails Museum saw their attendance increase by 3% and had visitors from 49 states, Puerto Rico, and 18 countries. 2024 was undoubtedly a year full of excitement. However, it was not a year without trials and tribulations. The darkest of those days came on February 29th, when we suffered the profound loss of Officer Cody Allen. Officer Allen made the ultimate sacrifice in service to this community while trying to save the life of Jackson County Court process server Drexel Mack, who was killed in the line of duty during this senseless incident. Since that awful day, Officer Luis Virgil from the Independence Police Department has served as the Allen family's support liaison. Officer Virgil is here today representing the Allen family. Officer Virgil, Cody Allen's service will never be forgotten, and his sacrifice will always be appreciated. Thank you for your selfless and unwavering service to this hero's family during their time of need. As we turn to the future, there were several seeds planted last year that will blossom and bear fruit in 2025. In 2024, through the completion of 2 independent studies, the City Council settled a long-standing debate about the future ownership of Independence Power and Light. We know that major investments are necessary if IPL wants to better serve customers and attract large energy users. But we also know that IPL operations compare favorably to other utilities, and that IPL's system is highly reliable. The City Council believes that investing time and resources into improving IPL is a better approach than a protracted, controversial, and costly public vote on selling IPL. And this is precisely the plan being worked today. Significant strides are being made to promote Independence as a destination for tourists, including the creation of the Independence Convention and Visitors Bureau. The benefits of a dedicated and independent Visitors Bureau include enhanced marketing, increased tourism revenues, and stronger partnerships with local businesses and organizations. This entity will be funded through a dedicated percentage of our existing transient guest tax and other revenue sources. We expect the Bureau to be fully functional later this year. We're taking bold steps to improve city services by improving the facilities from which we operate. Last January, the council approved the acquisition of a vacant Class A office building to preserve as our future home. Later this year, we will open Independence Municipal Commons, allowing us to better serve you, notably to the business community, through the location of all functions related to business development and support, thereby providing a one-stop shop for those seeking to open or expand businesses in Independence. Earlier this month, the City Council declared the city's official intent to issue tax-exempt bonds to finance the construction of 3 new fire stations and the renovation of the Independence Utility Center for law enforcement purposes. The total estimated cost of these projects is about $44 million, with funding derived through a combination of the existing fire protection sales tax and the marijuana sales tax. This financing approach leverages the low interest benefits of municipal bonding, spread costs over time, and minimizes immediate budget impacts while enhancing the city's long-term infrastructure investments in an expedited and financially responsible manner. But it is not all milk and honey in the land of Independence. As city manager, I see what all of us see: pockets of blight, a rising cost of living, failing infrastructure, an influx of homelessness, poverty that consistently hovers around 15%, a median household income that is 16% below the statewide average, a median home value that is 23% below the statewide average, 2,800 families waiting to access affordable housing, and a western portion of our community that has endured decades of disinvestment and disenfranchisement. These are the issues that weigh most heavily on me. These are the issues that require a renewed sense of urgency. Folks, no one is going to do it for us. But with the profound belief that for every problem there is a solution, working together as a unified community, sharing in both sacrifice and success, I know there are no limits to us getting the job done. In 2025, we will continue our work to create opportunity for all. I believe the leadership of our current elected officials demonstrates a sincere desire to promote and move our town in a positive direction. I urge all stakeholders to stand with them towards that end. The immediate opportunity before us comes in the form of revitalizing our infrastructure and preparing for growth. Here's a video.
For the first time, Independence residents will have the opportunity to vote on a $197 million general obligation bond package. General obligation, or GO bonds, are one of the most affordable ways a city can borrow money to fund the most pressing projects in the city. Over 4 months, a group of 21 residents met to evaluate the GO bond package. In October, the group toured deteriorating city buildings, unusable bridges, and saw untapped potential at parks. After seeing these problems, they made their recommendations to the City Council on what needs to be fixed. That list includes a new justice center consolidating police operations, overdue bridge and street repairs, new sidewalks surrounding some elementary schools, and renovations to historic buildings, the outdoor athletic complex, and the animal shelter. To fund these needs, it will be up to citizens to decide if they will pass the city's first ever general obligation bond on April 8th, 2025.
This is a huge step for the future of our city, one that has never been taken in our 197-year history. Our residents, you, have an opportunity to say, we care about improving common assets and preserving those unique assets that only Independence can claim. As the video said, in April, voters will consider 3 questions totaling $197 million. Question 1 totals $130 million and pertains to public safety. $123 million is proposed for the construction of a new justice center. This facility would be centrally located in our community and would consolidate all functions of the Independence Police Department and municipal court onto one central campus. As businessmen and women, you can certainly appreciate the logistical and financial challenges associated with managing 6 different facilities scattered across town. Moreover, the current police headquarters has a number of challenges, not the least of which is the pervasive intrusion of raw sewage and water leaked into the workplace. The elevators work sporadically, the HVAC system functions occasionally, and the fire suppression system failed last year and had to be replaced. Additionally, the police department has outgrown their space for both people and storage. This includes not just regular files, but evidence. Consolidation will save the city over $57,000 annually in time and travel costs. We can utilize land that's already owned by the city, and the Independence Utility Center building, as I mentioned, will be retrofitted for police offices at our headquarters. Planning for the continued redevelopment of the Independence Square, question 1 also allocates $4 million for the demolition and the site remediation of the existing headquarters. This will ensure that this site is properly prepared for future redevelopment opportunities. Finally, question 1 contains $3 million for the acquisition of the regional animal shelter by the city from Jackson County. Presently, we operate under a unique and challenging arrangement in which the facility is owned by Jackson County and the land is owned by Independence. Imagine how well that works. By acquiring and controlling this facility, the city will be able to address a number of existing and critical facility issues that include fire suppression, artificial turf replacement, plumbing, HVAC, fencing, door closers, and roof leaks. We have an obligation to care for the animals who are in our building so that we can plan for their adoption. And the GEO bond funding will allow us to purchase the building and make these necessary repairs for the animals in this community. Question 2 totals $55 million and addresses the most pressing infrastructure needs like roads, bridges, and sidewalks. $30 million is proposed for street reconstruction and overlay. Our roads and bridges are the lifeblood of businesses and residents. And with GEO bond funding, we can speed up the timetable for repairing and replacing them. Coupled with the existing street sales tax funds, we could double the amount being spent each year on street overlays. It would allow for everything from major roadways like Nolan Road to some of our most beloved neighborhood streets like East 30th Street Court South, only in Independence. Using data collected as part of our Pavement Condition Index, staff will determine roadways most in need of repair while also ensuring equity across the 4 council districts. Our school children and their families need safe sidewalks to get to and from school. We owe it to the next generation to provide this for them. This plan allocates $10 million for sidewalks at 7 elementary schools identified by the Independence School District and Fort Osage School District leadership, and includes Fairmont, Castle Park, Blackburn, Ott, and Mill Creek Elementary in the ISD, as well as Elm Grove and Claremont Elementary in the Fort Osage School District. At this moment, we have 5 bridges in our city that are closed because they are unsafe to drive across. We have 9 additional bridges that need to be fixed, several of which are facing closure if they aren't addressed quickly. This plan allocates $15 million to address those 14 bridges, including $3 million to repair or replace culverts throughout the city. If you're one of the residents impacted by one of these bridge closures, you know how problematic this is. It has a dramatic impact on public safety services, where seconds can make a life or death difference. If your business is impacted, you know that time is money and how disruptive this can be to your logistics. Bridge repairs help advance many strategic outcomes, including neighborhood connectivity, public safety, and access to jobs and other resources. Finally, question 3 provides $12 million to address historic site maintenance, as well as tapping into the full potential of the Independence Athletic Complex. Specifically, this plan proposes $7 million for addressing the long-deferred maintenance at 3 historic sites to help ensure their viability for future generations to enjoy. This includes $2.2 million for the Vail Mansion, $3.8 million for the Bingham Wagner, and just about $1 million for the Truman Memorial Building. Preserving historic sites in Independence is important for several reasons, as they contribute to the cultural, social, and economic well-being of the community. Preserving historic sites can boost tourism, attracting visitors who are interested in exploring the city's history. By preserving these sites, Independence can maintain a unique identity that distinguishes it from other places and contributes to the shared sense of belonging among our residents. $5 million would be used to infuse new life into the Independence Athletic Complex. There is a real opportunity for economic activity at this site. We can thoughtfully plan what activities best serve our community and leverage the youth sports industry to attract more events and people to Independence. As a parent, I am sick of driving to Johnson County every weekend for youth sports and spending money in their tax base. As city manager, I am ready to see Johnson County license plates in this community, in our parking lots, and spending money in our businesses. Revitalizing the athletic complex would include a variety of enhancements, including field renovations, storage for park maintenance, and 6 different athletic associations, expanded irrigation, 4 new park shelters, 3 new restrooms, 1 new concession stand, a spray ground, an off-leash dog park, and a new playground and restroom south of Salisbury Road. An important consideration for the GeoBond Citizen Advisory Committee and the City Council was the cost to Independence residents. At full implementation, a home valued at just over $150,000, which is the median home value in Independence, would have a monthly cost of $19.57. That's not a cost that hits all at once. Rather, it will be phased in over time as debt is issued to fund bond projects. Several mechanisms are in place to ensure that funds are spent appropriately. First, the state constitution and state statutes prohibit spending these monies on anything other than voter-approved projects. Second, the City Council has adopted a resolution requiring an annual report from the city manager to the public detailing how bond funds were spent, as well as requiring the City Council's Audit and Finance Committee to review expenditures on a quarterly basis. Passing a general obligation bond is no easy task. It requires 57% voter approval. Polling done by the Chamber last fall indicates there is a steep climb ahead. And facing those headwinds, we can ill afford to become complicit, complacent, or uncommitted. This is an all-hands-on-deck situation. As city manager, I'm prohibited from telling you how to vote on these 3 questions. So I'll close today with a different message, and I'll ask our board chair, Doug Cowan, and my daughter, Caroline, to join me on stage. And while they're coming up, share with you why these issues are so important and so deeply personal for me. A few weeks ago, my family was driving back from the holidays, and we were playing a game of Ask Me Anything. My wife posed the question, how would you describe your hometown to someone who's never visited it before? Now, I can't really recall how anyone in the car answered that question, because my mind immediately began to ponder a series of I wonder scenarios. You see, Caroline here is a 5th grader in the independent school district. She's going back to school, Dr. Hurl, don't worry. In just 7 short years, she's going to break her daddy's heart and head off to college. After that, the world is going to be her oyster. She's going to have a lot to offer, and I hope, for your sake, she'll offer it to independence, like Doug decided to do. After completing his degree in Columbia, Doug decided to come home and serve his community. I think you'd all agree with me that we're better off for it. But will independence have enough to entice the Carolines of today, to come home tomorrow? The incredible thing is, we get to make that decision as a community right now. We get to decide if we're serious about looking like and growing like and creating opportunities like the cities around us. If we do so, then it's my belief that we will create meaningful opportunities for this young lady and sustainable success for generations to come. Thank you for your trust, collaboration, and unwavering support. Together, we are shaping a future for independence that honors our proud history while embracing opportunities ahead. Thank you.